Where? Oh, it's Ron. I was like, where did? I was trying to remember where the person came from. So, okay, Ron, anything that you want to tell us about that tape? Everything on that tape is wild. Really, everything. Wild stuff indeed. Even the horses. Everything on that tape was wild. Planes used to leave these thick black marks in the runway at our little airstrip. I guess it was coming in so fast on such a short runway. Or maybe cheap tires, I don't really know. Were the horses wild? I thought those were the horses here. Oh, the neighbors? We call the horses the neighbors. No, I didn't recognize that one. I don't think there are any wild horses anymore. Really? How could that be? Oh, well, they've all been domesticated. Are the neighbors domesticated? We don't own them, no. They're, feral? Feral being different from wild, because wild is when it's untouched by humans. Domesticated is when you're currently being influenced by humans, usually on a genetic level, to be more cooperative and pliant and community oriented and all that. And then ferals when they're just kind of turned loose again and in their new changed form. It's the after. The post-apocalypse. You can't have an apocalypse without having like a society first or something to apocalypse-size. Some sort of status quo to end. The tracks would bleach out in the sun, but then the next time it rained, they'd appear again as oily after images on the runway. Now it's been decades since anyone has landed there, but those marks still come out when it rains. Oh, right. In your documentary, you said that people who used to live here had freed their horses. Exactly, but you can free your pet cat, but it won't turn back into a panther. Right. That's a kind of haunting, a kind of ghost, like Ben was saying. But everything is a ghost around here, these days. It's a ghost town, with people still living in it, against all reason. Most of the houses are empty. There's always been people here, after the Pueblo de Nada, the community airstrip, then the company town, then WEVP. What about the dogs? Yeah, Ron, was the dog wild? Everything on that tape was wild. He just keeps saying it. Somehow, just as the last group dies out, some new utopian project always finds a way to take hold. What is it about this place? It must be the well. It didn't look wild to me. I guess it's a matter of perspective. I'm not sure I agree. But now it's time for the weather. Thanks again, Ron. He never said any other line. We're hanging out long past our expiration date. Well, the weather should be pretty wild. I can hear it for myself right now. Yeah, getting pretty intense out there. Do the storms like this? Do you get storms like this a lot? More and more. Right, of course. And then, of course, there's the actual ghost. Alright, here's Elmo with the weather report. And lucky us, we also have Cyrano Cole, who stopped by to add some drama, musically. I hear he's going to be at the Rum Colony later tonight if you need a cocktail after the show. So let's go live to Elmo for the weather report. Oh, is Elmo ready? I should make sure the camera's pointed in the right direction. This one or the other one? Oh, good. Standing water on the floor. And a hole in my boot. I love to have wet socks. Looks like the ceiling panels are swelling a little. Is that really happening? Are we about to get drenched? It's so eerie to have just this threat coming our way that this whole place might just come down around us. I mean, we know that the WEVP doesn't exist anymore, so it's there's an extra like narrative irony to the aspect. But there's also the visual aspect of like, we don't trust ceiling tiles anymore because they showed us ceiling tiles once before, and they lifted into the sky. That was a dreamy moment, but this one might not be as fun. Roofs are leaking all over town. Elmo and Cyrano are killing this weather report. This is neat looking. Flash flooding imminent. So he's just kind of hanging out and playing this instrument, and this other guy has like a slideshow set up. He shows the show by using he does texts, and then he's spinning something over the holo projector. Like, this is the kind of projectors that we used in class. Yeah, look at him. He's got a big string of transparencies that are all taped to each other, and he slides them all past to make this really cool visual. Drowned quarter folks head to the hangar, I think. Hey. This is so trippy. How did he work out these ratios of oil, water, and dyes? It seems so precise the way he drips them in one little half drop at a time. Is that what's happening? So he's currently like spinning. He's like spinning some kind of weird dish that's transparent. I thought he might have just pre-dyed it. Like a transparency, but it looks like this thing we're looking at is like actually actively moving around liquids. Oh yeah, you can see the whole gaps appearing and disappearing. Must have been a lot of trial and error, just starting with a circle of light on the wall. Drip, drip, drip. It's a fun experiment to run. Where do you get your supplies, Elmo? Ben has a guy in. Oh wait, you mean the projection stuff? I mail ordered these candle dyes. This other stuff is just mineral oil, like you can get at the drugstore. The projector, somebody just left it here, man. Incredible. Actually, it was that girl who does the pirate video stuff, you know, jamming our signal. Weaver. Yeah, our resident ghost. Ghost, huh? You really think she's dead? Doesn't matter. They're talking about Weaver. What does he mean by that? You don't think it matters? Nah, alive or dead, a ghost is just what happens when a person's gone but still taking up space. Hey, you think she'll get us tonight? It's about time, right? He's right, we're about due. Plus, Saturn's in a retrograde. So I hear. Not that she keeps a strict schedule, but it's never longer than a month or two between... Oh, what does Mimi call them? I know they're bad for the general vibe around here, but can I be honest? Emily nods in mock gravity. I kinda like it when she bursts in and takes over our signal. It's like a log falling on the road. It reminds you that this all used to be trees. Interventions. That's what Mimi calls them. How does she do it? Her performances were cool, though. I never saw her, perform, but I heard about it. Oh, yeah. I saw her do it a few times. I was into it. For a while, we thought she had a tower somewhere. But she's even jamming the local cable transmissions. She did lectures, right? Yeah, you could say that. I thought of them as, storytelling sessions. She talked for hours and shuffled through slide after slide of shapes, numbers, weird constellations. Who knows what any of it meant. Ralph and Sherry went and checked every cable in town for... Oh, what would they call it? And this was her projector. Right. I don't know where she got it, though. It still works pretty well. I got a spare bulb at a resale shop, but I haven't had to use it yet. Taps? Splices? Injection sites? Places where Weaver would be overriding our signal. They didn't find anything. It's a mystery. That's why it bothers people so much. But to me, that just makes it more dignified somehow. What happened to the rest of her stuff? I bet her slides are still here at the studio. Maybe with the posters? Sherry has all Weaver's old notebooks, I know that. She keeps them in her archive. You know, the big blue filing cabinet. With the daisies painted on. Yeah. Anyway, the really hard part is to find in these two pieces. The really hard part to find is these two pieces of glass. They have to be paired very precisely. I had to get these from a clock store over in Glasgow. That's where they come from. Clock faces. Thanks for the tips, dude. Anytime, dude. Oh, so those are clock faces. The two pieces of glass that have like oil and stuff in them. The weird spinning discs. Who's broadcasting? Like, what's on the TV right now? Are we still broadcasting the oil without there being any music playing? Because he stopped playing music. I really wonder what the viewer experience is for these. Aren't they live? Back to you, Rita. Thanks, Elmo and Cyrano. So, next we have a selection of the from the video databank. You're gonna like this one. Maya, this one's about caves. Ooh. Yeah, local caves. We play this one a lot. It's pretty cool. Oh, but we have a phone call. Should we get it now or should we wait? We'll get it now, okay? Rita presses the button on the telephone next to her. Hello, WEVP. Hope you all packed a lunch. This is going to be a long one. I was so surprised by voice acting showing up outside of the phone calls and music. This should be okay if I wander around a bit. Oh my god. Anyway. Hey babe. Hearts? It's like, oh, I love this crow. Do you have a crush on the crow? A chitter and then a coo. Did you know Weaver? Oh, really? Was she nice to you? Well, that's good to hear. You make her sound so normal. Talk to anyone else and it's like she had a second head. One of our little mysteries. Like the out-of-towner. Oh, really? Did you know him well? Wow. I had no idea. It was terrible what happened to him. Right. Justice. Someday. What a waste. Sad. Well, Have fun. I'm gonna see if Jeff is done. We've got banter that's almost like flirting, but it's a crow. Someone, Mimi I think, was tracking Weaver's appearances here. She'd jot down the time and date whenever there was an intervention. Mimi hasn't been in town, hasn't been by in a few weeks though. When was the last one? Let's see what the notes say. Oh wait. She just wrote times, not dates. Well, that's not very helpful. They're all at night. I guess that's a pattern. Oh. Here's a Ron's recipe for mac and cheese. 6 cups of milk. Decadent. Is that decadent? I don't know much about mac and cheese recipes, I guess. No leaks back here just yet. The tapes are safe for the moment. I have a bad feeling the situation won't last. Soon I'll be scrounging for a tarp to protect the video databank. I mean, in general, look how much standing water there is in this room. Oh fuck, there's a lot of standing water in this room. It's like an inch deep. You're gonna have mold problems throughout this entire building, and like, the dampness of the room just in general is gonna make the tapes wet, I think. They're pretty fucked. It's kind of amazing that everyone's still just sitting around. I definitely had a moment where I thought that one of these guys might have been Conway when we first walked in. The couch is getting a little damp, but Ben and Bob don't seem to mind. Probably too wrapped up in their project. Bob had some theories about Weaver's broadcasts. He was considering how she might be tapping into our wires here in town. He built a model, like a proof of concept. This big metal box you could wire up and use to take over our signal. It actually worked. But the thing needed too much power to run. Even a car battery could only keep it going for a few seconds. Weaver's broadcast just loops and loops, sometimes for hours. Consolidated Power doesn't pay any attention to this town anymore, but they still have it on a strict energy budget. So there's no way she's plugged into the grid. That entire thought process was evoked by a couch. I've probably missed some of these, haven't I? Oh my god, he's still going. He's sleeping on camera. Oh shit. The line's dead. The phone lines are such a mess up here. Hello? Was that the storm? Or was it the damn phone lines? Man, they're really flaky. Business as usual. He has a really soothing voice. That's Jeff, or he's a regular caller. He's asleep. Hmm? Maya indicates Ron, who has fallen asleep in his chair. Oh, well, let him sleep. Okay, well, let's play the tape. This is cave art. It's a classic around here. I'm excited. Looks like Mo's got this one all queued up. Way to go, Mo. I should let Maya enjoy the tape. So if Weaver is a ghost, by some agreed upon definition in mechanics, that means WEVP TV is haunted. Should we be doing something about that? Aren't you supposed to, like, have an exorcism or something? I mean, you can't just leave a place haunted. That would be negligence. I'd miss her, though. I guess there are good ghosts and bad ghosts, like spiders. Good in the garden, bad in the shower. A loud crashing noise from outside wakes Ron up. What the hell? What was that? I'll check it out. Yikes. Should we go help? Oh, no, he's, Oh, the tape is over. What did you think? That was great. Oh, God. Yeah, I like that one. I kind of... That sounded pretty close. Oh, no, is the power out? Or is it just lights? I don't know, it's... I'll take a look. Maybe a fuse blew on the relay or something. Some scared rat chewed a wire. Abandoned ship? Just kidding. Guess I'll take a look around to see if anything's smoking. Sometimes this happens if you just get a lightning strike that's close enough. Sometimes it doesn't take the power out, like, long term, but everything just turns off for a moment, and you're like, well, I've definitely lost a recording to that before, where lightning struck just close enough to where I was recording that, like, everything just turned off for a moment, like, God was just like, fuck this video, it's gone now. Our little town must seem even more romantic now, huh? If it survives the night. Maybe we should call... Nah, the phones are definitely dead now. I guess it's up to me to figure out what's going on here. Everyone's becoming constellations. Is that a... No, of course not. Lightning flashes in the dark make it look like a slideshow out there. My summer vacation in the ghost town. They're still picking away at their project. In the dark, as the storm bears down on us. So what else is new? That's this whole town just whistling along on its way to the grave. I don't know, I think it's romantic. They're having a great day. Who the fuck? Who are you? She's soaked? Who is that? Did an old lady show up? Poor thing, she's soaked. Are you having trouble with... Oh, less old than I thought. Oh, I spoke too soon. I thought your power was out. Yeah, it just came back on. Weird. Good, though. You made it. In this storm. Oh, I'd never miss the evening broadcast. To be honest, it's the only time I get to share my work. I wonder how many people even tune in at this point. Is she just reading her poetry to us here in the studio? Sure, of course, that's great. What happened with the power? That was weird, right? The power? Oh, it seems like a normal kind of thing to happen in a storm. Yeah, you're right. I just have an eerie feeling tonight. Well, you know, Saturn's in retrograde, right? It sure is. Why is everyone mentioning that all the time? Well, ready to go? Ready! Okay, this ceiling is falling apart. Doesn't bode well for the roof. Some of the studio wiring is in puddles now. That's dangerous, right? Nobody else seems concerned about it. Okay. I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see that. That sounds like a risky move you're making there. The wind sounds like it's screaming at this point. Dude, how is everyone so chill? It's like the power of everybody around you being chill, making you chill. It's like, well, no one else is freaking out, so I guess this must be okay. But everyone's gonna like, oh god. Now we enter the cultural section of tonight's program. Did you fix it? Just came back on its own. It'll just take a second for the equipment to warm back up and we'll be on the air again. Spooky. It's a disaster out there. The neighbor's barn is basically underwater. Oh, wow. So just completely... Yeah, just completely flooded. I passed her on the way in. He's going to take a look and see if there's anything we can do. Will they be okay? Ron knows what he's doing. He used to be a firefighter. It's a little bit different though, is it right? I guess. Nikki hands some wet paper towels to Rita. Okay, thanks. Nikki pulls a journal out of her jacket pocket. I brought my work. Oh, good. Nikki reads her poetry. It's a weekly feature of our broadcast. Oh, great. I look forward to hearing it. God, that just makes me think about the, it's a song I even just heard today. Let's see. Let's try to bring some stuff in here. Yeah, it's called A Poem by AJJ. A poem is a song that no one cares about, except the writers of the songs that we're all singing. And songs are just commercials for awful, ugly people who want your money, your attention, and all your love. And if you don't give it to them, they'll starve. If you don't give it to them, they'll starve to death. And that's alright. Anyway. Yeah, I just hope that we can keep going. We lost power a little while before, right? Better get started then. To the out-of-towner. What eagle flew to you? What eagle flew you to your final bed? It was not men who brought you there to sleep. The men who left you bloodied and then fled had chosen mud and muddy watered creek. Did wild turkeys gobble, dote, and care, and wipe the moss beneath your eyelids clear? Did cardinals pull the twigs out from your hair, and wash your hands and feet, and trim your beard? When wood ducks dressed you in your resting gown, the pigeons fashioned shoes from leaves and bark? Who then sewed flowers into a burial crown? The one who made your headdress was a hawk. The men who broke your body, where were they? The vultures stayed home on your funeral day. Is it going to be an interruption? I heard static. Emily, look at the monitor. Dude, be quiet. We're live right now. No, we're not. Look. Is it the interruption from Weaver? That's not our broadcast. Damn. There she is. Emma was right. What's wrong? It's her. Weaver. Oh, really? Tonight? Sorry about this, Maya. What's going on? Local prankster. She jams our signal every once in a while, whenever the stars align. Prankster? Not the word I would use. Damn, so what do you do about it? Just wait until she's done. We've never been able to stop her from jamming us. We don't even know how she does it. We should be back on in a minute, though, don't worry. Except sometimes it loops for hours. Ah. What did they say about WEVP? I'm trying to remember if they talked about casualties or if it was just like, oh, there goes that station, and then everyone had to leave, and then that was just it, and they moved on. What if Weaver was repeatedly warning them about the incoming doom of the station, or something like that? I don't know. Hauntings can be weird. Those are all these little interruptions are neat little sequences, though. The interludes, where you check out a different character and they experiment with the entire format of the show. They technically, I mean, they experiment with the format during acts too, but they get much more extreme with it at times with those, like especially chapter 2 and 4, where you change perspective entirely. Yeah, Weaver was almost a detail you could almost forget about. Like, she's established as this character in the TV that you meet. You basically meet her before you meet almost anybody else besides the guy that works at the gas station. And she sends you to find her sister, and then you kind of discover over time that she doesn't exist, or she's a ghost or something. And then she kind of vanishes, but then she's mentioned occasionally, but then I think we're spiking back up on the frequency at which she's mentioned. It's becoming a lot more common, in part because it seems now that she's realized that she's lost her business, Shannon is actively pursuing information about Weaver, and she's getting some answers, or at least she's finding some of the people that have information for her. Well, alright. That was Un Pueblo de Nada.